Hey, my name is Chad. Welcome to this video where we are going to try a little bit more testing out at some longer distances. Of course, today the wind is going to be acting up, so we're just going to have to wing it here. I filmed a little bit yesterday, but I think we're just going to skip all of that and jump out here to 500 yards. And I'm hoping that this will test my theory and let me know for sure or not whether I can run two different boxes of ammo now that I'm getting into the resized and processed loadings on them, as opposed to when they were brand new. And now I've got a car coming. Okay, had a bit of an interruption with a truck driving by, but no big deal. So yesterday I had the idea that I wanted to test box number 2 and 4 out of my ammo, and what I did was just set up at 100 yards and got in a decent position that I could fire from a prone and have a good consistent aiming point. I'm going to try this, but this wind is getting out of control. So what I've got is I've still got a few rounds of unfired with a previous lot number of bullet loaded into them. And then what I've noticed is when I go to size them, my speeds come up about 20 feet per second. I don't really think that's enough to make a major difference. But I see the different numbers and I'm not sure, so it's a mental thing for me. So what I did was just shot a couple different groups with actually 3 different boxes of ammo. And this is going to be absolutely impossible to figure out here, but box number 4, I had three rounds down there. I mean, not bad. That was with some of the new unfired. I think this one was with I tried to get it from what I thought was unfired, but or already sized, and that I think ended up being new unfired as well. Then I did a couple out of a fired and resized set. Then out of my other box, I had that size of group with the new unfired, and then that size of group with my sized. With only doing them for like 3 and 5 shot groups, I don't think the target is enough to judge whether or not there's any issue with using one or the other. So the match that I've got coming up on Saturday the 19th at Gravestone, they say to bring 100 rounds. Well, between the 2 boxes I've got 100, but they're not all the exact same. So I'm thinking out here at 500 yards, I just want to take a couple shots and see if there's a difference from actually at distance. Can I get hits with the previous lot number of bullet in the unfired cases and match them up with my sized and new lot number of bullets? I don't know, we're just going to run a couple different setups and see what happens. A good day to practice the wind. I did go ahead and set up some of my Hornady hit indicators down there, so I should be able to at least see if I get hits. I think with this wind I'm not going to be able to hear anything, so let me put a couple things away and we'll get down and see what we can do. One more thing just to get it on record. So from one box, my new first firing, I was about 2950, 2952 on 2 different groups there, and then after sized from that box was 2973. The other box I had a new about 2959 and then a sized about 2971. So it seems like once I size them, their speeds get a lot closer. I think the new, it's slightly less grip on the bullet. So I think when I size and run my mandrel through, I'm getting a little bit tighter grip. Well, I just brain farted the actual term for how tight the case grips the bullet. Wow. It's been one of those kind of days. I've got a lot going on as usual, and I'm just totally brain farting that, but you know what I'm talking about. So, okay, so how tight the brass is actually holding on to the seated bullet, I think on the new cases is slightly looser than after I run my mandrel through when I size them. So I think that's giving me a more consistent speed around the 2970s, but it's also a little bit faster than the new cases. So, I mean, 10 to 20 feet per second, is that really enough to make a difference? We'll find out here at 500 yards and see what really happens out at distance, because that's all that really matters in this game. Gonna try out my big bag from Creedmoor. I keep forgetting I have this, so down here at this kneeling position, try this to take up some of the arm wobble. Whew, I've been running around way too much. So running off my Kestrel, my wind is about 3 to 4 tenths right that it's showing. So I put 4 tenths in. I got 2.3 on the scope, and I've got 2 loaded up, and this will be some of the new unfired. And we're just gonna really just kind of see what happens here. And ideally, I'll be able to get at least 1 hit out of these 2. And hopefully, if I don't, I'll see where I'm missing and have somewhat of an idea here. This will be cold bore shot for the day. That's about as center punched as I could ask for it. I don't know if y'all could hear that, but it definitely lit up the light show down there. Okay, so new unfired at 500 yards with the same Kestrel data that I used for the last match. I can at least get hits with that. So, you know, I've still got a few of these loaded up, ready to go. Let's try some from the box that I used at the last match. I think that these 2 are going to be from the unfired section. I'm going to try to get down on my plate rack down there. I put one of the Hornady hit indicators on the plate rack. I'm curious if that's actually going to pick it up because it's such a big target array. Hey, that works. And that was on the 12-10. That was on the 8-inch. Okay. So the new unfired is good. I've got quite a bit of that in another box. So my thinking was if I had to, I could run through that. But now is going to be kind of the real test that I want to do here. I want to pull 2 out of the side that I know I have sized and done a reload on these. And this will be the ammo that I did my last match with. If these 2 I can get hits with, and then 2 from the sized and loaded stash out of the other box, I think I'm just going to run through this box and size and load up them. Then I'll have enough extras just in case. Of course, it's looking like Saturday is going to be a rainy day, both here where I live and down at the Gravestone location. So I don't know what it is with these regional PRSs and getting rain, but that seems to be the norm around here. At least when I want to go to them. Okay. Smack that one good. Smack that one good. Okay, now this will be box 4, and this should be loaded pretty much the same way. This is kind of where I'm going to find out if my loading skills are actually consistent. Smack that one. This is taking a risk. I'm going down to the 12, 10, 8, down to the 6-inch. And it's swinging. Well, I mean, those were all hits, so I don't think I need to be worrying so much about these numbers that I see that are slightly different, because on target, stable setup, I'm getting hits. Hey, if you're the kind of person that sees numbers that you're not 100% sure about, but you want to go out and test them, go ahead and get subscribed right down below, because I seem to do this every couple of weeks. I'll see something that I'm not sure about and have to come down here and test a whole bunch of different stuff just to put my mind at ease. If you're that kind of person, you're going to fit in well around here. Okay, so I think from that little experiment, I can safely say that whatever differences I'm seeing on the chrono or slight variances, like when I'm trying to zero, I really need to get those out of my head, because if I'm able to get hits in this kind of wind, it's a pretty good, almost a straight crosswind, and 500 yards, I hit every shot that I took just now. I really don't think I've got anything to be actually concerned about. There's a few things that, for some reason, when I see numbers that don't line up exactly perfect, it really gets in my head. I'm pretty sure I have major OCD issues, but that's probably why I enjoy this so much, because there's so many different numbers that I can stare at and obsess over. But sometimes that's a bad thing, and I'm trying to do these kind of tests so that I can figure out what are numbers that are actually important to focus on, and what are numbers that I can let fall out from my head and not be quite so worried about it. Today I'm going to apologize. Obviously it's really windy out here, but I hope you had a good time hanging out with me and watching me stress over and then confirm that I'm overstressing for absolutely no reason. So I think we're going to be good for this match coming up on Saturday at Gravestone. So this box here is what I shot at the local match, and obviously I've got a lot of cases there that can be resized and got loaded up and ready to go. But I think I'm going to do just loading up on this case, or this box here. From this box was all the ammo that I had loaded up for the local match. If I had done the regional on Saturday and then the local on Sunday, I would have had 60 rounds here that were going to be good to go. But you know, I don't want to load all these. I'm still going through and testing them box by box just to keep them separated in case something does come up where there's a difference. But I'm about over that, and I think I can just mix these all together. Mainly when I go and clean them, I'm trying to keep them separated by their box so that I don't mix them up. I think that's really something that I don't even need to be concerned about anymore. So we're going to go with these, load them up, and then I'll have almost 200 rounds really. And that'll definitely get me through Gravestone and a little bit of practice after. If you got any comments or thoughts about this, please let me know down in the comments section here. I really do appreciate hearing from everybody out there. All of y'all's tips and suggestions over the last year have really sped up my learning curve. I'm still like flabbergasted by the way that I was able to end up at the top of the local match last week, and me and the other dude tied with the most points for that day. So I think I just got lucky and had a good day, and everybody else had a little bit of an off day, but I'll take it. I'm going to count that for my first match win, and now comes the hard part of trying to do it again. And these next couple matches are going to have some really good people at them. So when I get to compete against people that I look at their profile on the PRS website and I see that they've been doing it for, 3, 5, 7, 8 years for some of them, and they've gone to some of the 2-day pro matches and have scored points in that, I know I've got my work cut out for me, but I'm going to keep going, and I will get better and better every time I come out. So I think I'm getting a lot more comfortable with how everything works, and we're just going to keep plugging away and keep trying to score more points at every match I go to. That's going to do it for this video. I really do thank you for hanging out with me for a few minutes. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.